Hey, come here. Do you know what I love? Racing games! The end of 2024 and into 2025 are looking amazing for some racing games. So let's check out what we're looking forward to. While this is not a new racing game, the Crew Motorfest is getting its biggest updates yet. Its year one update, adding a whole new island to the game for free. This is Maui, a whole new location for us to play with some incredible new biomes, incredible new cars, and incredible new ways to play. We've already spoke quite a lot about the Crew Motorfest and what it's going to add to the game, but of course, if you want more information, you're in the right place. Now, overall, a lot of you are going to know a lot of the games in this list, but there's actually going to be some surprising ones, especially if you watch all the way to the end. There's some very interesting games. Not only a new island, but a whole new way to play the Crew Motorfest. This is looking like a pretty easy cop, in my opinion. The Crew Motorfest expansion is coming out early November, as you can see. Ooh, fancy date. But before we move on to 2025, I've got another one. Welcome to Japanese Drift Master. Now, this is a game we actually played the demo of earlier this year. This is a really cool game based on present day Japanese drifting in tight locations, but also they've been announcing something pretty sick over time that I'm very excited for. As you can see, licensed car manufacturers coming to this smaller game. This is pretty sick. Customization in Japan, story, different play styles. This game has a lot going for it, and I'm actually quite excited to jump in and start customizing driving drifting. It basically boils down to, in my opinion, Need for Speed Underground 2 if it was set in Japan. It's kind of what it feels like. Anyway, this game is supposedly coming out this year, but we don't know exactly when, so that may go into next year. Speaking of next year, Assetto Corsa EVO is how we are starting the year. The second Assetto Corsa after many, many years, and the game continually piling and piling up. Now, this one is actually super special. Again, we recently did a deep dive on this, so you can check that out. But what we're essentially getting here is a new Assetto Corsa with the highly requested community features baked into the game. Those popular mods and things you see, well, realistically are being put in the base game. But not only that, it looks like we have garage spaces, maybe a place to buy. Maybe we'll see the game become more of a game. And not to mention the free roam looking locations that are so popular with on YouTube and without Assetto Corsa. Realistically, the main reason a lot of people are buying this game, and hopefully we continue to get the crazy modability of Assetto Corsa baked in. Time will tell, friends, but I'm pretty hopeful about this one. Early access starts January 2025. Now, this one I'm going to say take as a little grain of salt. This is the teaser for Night Runners. Night Runners was a really popular game this year, but you might be surprised to know it was actually just the demo. This really gives me 2015 vibes, man. This little trailer they put together, fantastic. So Night Runners is set in Japan. You do highway races, you upgrade your car. I hate to throw the underground name. It's got some sussy music, for example, but the sense of speed, and again, developed by primarily one person, this game is one to watch. It's not going to be AAA prices, of course, but it might be one of the games I'm most excited to jump back into. You have a debt system. Mate, you've already seen it. You already know. And if you don't, I've done a series on the demo. Just think Japan and the whole car auction system and having the ability to grind and progress. This is not the date. Night Runners is supposedly coming out May 2025. But, you know, it's probably coming out next year, but at some point. Speaking of Night Runners, Tokyo Extreme Racer is back, by the way, in case you didn't know. What? Out of nowhere, they've been talking about what we can expect to see and starting to drop little teasers and things throughout. But the fact Tokyo Extreme Racer, I don't think anyone ever expected Tokyo Extreme Racer to return. And throughout the last few weeks, they've been showing us that they are not just slopping on this game. This is one of the car models from the game. They've got some pretty damn good car models. Now, normally the games would launch on PlayStation only, but this is actually launching on PC only. But again, you can probably expect it to come to console eventually. Boys, they're doing it. What the heck? How about another one to just kind of wet the whistle? And the music? What the frick? I'm so excited. I wonder if they're going to do like customization and stuff, because that's going to kind of be important. They're showing the stock cars, but like we need to spice these up a little bit. Tokyo Extreme Racer. What the frick? Oh, and by the way, that's coming out 2025 at some point. So Night Runners have got some competition. You know what? Night Runners is probably going to be a more fleshed out game. You've got Night Runners, which is more fleshed out and less graphically intensive. And you got this is going to look amazing, but probably be super simple. And you know what? Smaller games returning in general. This makes me super excited for a time in where creativity will reign king. Because I'm fed up with these big AAA flops. Speaking of flops, this will not flop. There's just no chance. This, I know, it's GTA, but we have to mention GTA. We can't say car game coming out and not mention GTA is coming out. GTA is going to scare a lot of games. If we don't get Horizon next year, it's probably because they're scared of GTA and they didn't release it last year. And we spoke about why we think Forza Horizon was delayed in another video, so you can look at that. I've already spoke about that quite significantly, but I'm excited to jump onto some racing again, because I feel like in the early days of GTA Online, all I did is smash out down the drain over and over and over and over. But looks like we're going to get some stories that could symbolize and be in depth within the car community, and a lot of stuff about takeovers and things like that embedded into the story. So listen, if it's not a racing game, we can do the racing in it. Therefore, is it a racing game? I feel like it would be the best way to make money at the start, because, you know, GTA Online, they've got to rebuild that. Anyway, that's coming out fall
2025.
Let's see how that sticks. My thought is that they actually already incorporated a delay, so they said 2025, which then they were aiming for maybe summer 25, and then they were like, now we can just push it back to fall. They told us 2025. I think it's going to come out 2025. I could eat those words, but we'll find out, friends. Forza Horizon, not 5. We're talking Forza Horizon 6, friends. This is the Forza Horizon 5 trailer. If I'm honest, if any game kind of felt like slop, it's not Forza Horizon 5, friends. Forza Horizon 6 is gonna be an interesting one, but I think Forza Horizon 6 is gonna be a really dividing game. This is a series at its absolute peak, and now it's going to release a game at its absolute peak. I don't think it's going to get any higher than this, other than one aspect, and that is sales, because I think this is going to come to PlayStation as well. I think the big reason for the delay is because of how Forza Motorsport was perceived, and Xbox's new strategy that is releasing PlayStation games around the same time. And so they've got to make these games work across multiple platforms from go. And ultimately, it needs more players and more money, and great. This is great news for everyone. But I'm a little bit worried, as I say, because I worry about the state of Forza Motorsport. And I think that's the main reason why we're not getting it this year, when we all expected it to be this year. 2025 kind of makes sense. But if they wait a little bit longer, you can blame GTA. So again, while we don't have an exact date for this one, I'm gonna say it. I think 2025. I feel it in my chest. It might be a bit of a quiet release. They could totally do that. So I'm actually gonna give you a second to guess what this one is. Any ideas? Any ideas? You're like, Theo, it looks like a single A game. Hear me out. This ain't no AAA game, that's for damn sure. But this is Recreation. Now, if you know, you know. But if you don't, I'm explaining for you. This is created by the legends, the iconic heads up that created the masterpieces of Burnout. Yes, they are back on the THQ Nordic, and they are creating Recreation. Now, this is a really strange one, because I don't know if we can really put a date to it, because they keep kind of just saying it's coming out. It's coming out. And I really don't know when. But I'm assuming 2025, because they can't wait much longer, surely. The idea basically is that it's a racing game where you can create and destroy things. They made a lot of small games. Remember that golf game that they made? You can basically create courses, smash into stuff, and have kind of Burnout style stuff. Now, this is going to sound really stupid of me. As cool as the high up stuff is, and the jumps and the ramps and things like that, I really hope we can drive on the road underneath. I think that just makes sense. It shows that hopefully we can be building together. It seems like they're really advertising the idea of creation, and I love creating it. Little Big Planet is one of my favorite franchises to ever exist, and I'm kind of looking forward to it. But, you know, cautiously optimistic is what I'd say. Speaking of wrecking, Wreckfest II. They announced the game in the best way they could have with a rolling car. Now, to be quite honest, this is kind of confusing because, yes, once again, this is also published by THQ Nordic. THQ Nordic, they release a lot of games, as you can see, and these two are similar in a few aspects. A lot of publishers would just be like, we probably shouldn't do that. But this looks pretty cool. It's Wreckfest 2. It's a game about crashing and smashing, and the physics are fun, and it's a fun little game, and it's not going to be AAA prices, hopefully. Again, a game I'm kind of looking forward to jumping on and trying. The previous game is actually quite decently successful, so I'm curious to see what they've added to this game to improve upon the formula. Mate, the rolling and stuff is so crazy. I remember playing the really early version of the first game, and it just... This is good. There's more of it, which is good news. It's a pretty basic trailer of showing you, you know, this, but I don't. What more do you really need to be like, yep, I'm buying a game about crashing? This one, I'm pretty certain is going to come soon. Still no date, which I think is fine because, you know, I feel like this one's coming a lot sooner. So I'm going to say 2025 at some point. Just don't know when. Need for Speed Mobile. Now, this is, again, trust me, I know, mobile game in the list is a little bit odd. But hear me out. Need for Speed Mobile is actually playable on PC. There's going to be an emulator that they provide. Like, it's just a download from their website that lets you play this game for free on PC. And I've actually had a lot of fun on Need for Speed Mobile so far. It's not, in my opinion, what I would like to line up with a proper mainline Need for Speed, but to be honest with you, I feel like it doesn't need to. I'm pretty excited to check it out. We had a lot of fun just messing about, and this game was supposed to come out this year, but I imagine this is coming out 2025 as well. So that's the list of 10 games. However, I promised you something pretty fun, pretty quirky, and I wouldn't really call this a racing game, but I would call this just like GTA is driving games, primarily how you get around. It's in America, right? This is a game I didn't know existed until literally today, genuinely, and I discovered it thanks to the internet. Who would have thought? This is a fun little game by Konami where you deliver stuff. It looks like it's maybe some people too. Maybe that's not a great idea for a game to sell it to the publisher, but hey, Konami surely agreed with it. It looks like it's got some crazy destruction and it's got a cool storyline. It looks kind of like Mafia-esque, and you drive through these crazy terrains and stuff and try and deliver whatever they throw at you. I'm really looking forward to this. It looks like a hell of a lot of fun, and it is called Deliver at All Costs.
Hey, stop that!
Device
Oh my
activated.
god.
Please avoid impact.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, okay, this looks like a hell of a lot of fun. This game, again, doesn't have a release date, but it looks pretty certain to come out. It looks good. It looks fun. I'm genuinely looking for it. Again, 2025. I don't know what else to tell you. There's your racing games, car games, whatever you want to call them that are coming out that we know of so far. And of course, there's going to be more. That's usually the case. Notice a lot of games aren't announcing dates, and that's probably because they don't want to be near GTA and they don't want to announce it near GTA, and GTA hasn't announced its date yet, and GTA is probably going to... GTA as a publisher is a scary game. Unless you're Take-Two. Speaking of two, here's another... It's one video. Doesn't really make sense, does it?